Welcome back to Divine Angelic Chosen channel. This is Gracie, Spiritual Earth Angel 623, and Sarai Natural Beauty, skincare products and aromatherapy. So, this is my second time doing this video. I guess it doesn't want me to get it out. All of a sudden, I started to sneeze, and then something was going on with the throat. So this is my second time trying to record this video and get it out. So I'm going to go ahead and start all over again. This is May 21st, 2024. It's about a couple that were out and about, and there was also 2 other men was with this man. So I'm not sure if it was this man's homeboys, bros, friends, or family members or what, but it was 2 gentlemen also inside the truck with this man and his girlfriend or his wife or whatever. And all of a sudden, the man went into like a childish temper tantrum, behavior, very immature, it was a weird behavior, like a child. Like if you would tell a child if they want something, you said no, and then they just fall out on the floor and they just act a scene trying to embarrass you. Well, this is how this man was acting, but he was not falling on the floor or anything. He was just acting very childish behavior. And it's over. It was like a tedious argument that I saw in a dream, that he was arguing over some noodles. He had asked his wife about some noodles, and she had said, I guess she didn't hear him because the door was shut and the windows was up in the truck, and she was talking to the 2 guys that was with them. And so when he opened the door up, that's when he asked her, and she was like, well, I didn't hear you. So then he went into this childish behavior, get mad, get upset. And then next thing you know, he ended up, it was like these 2 girls or whatever, because where they were at, it was like where there is like a building, that would have like a casino or some type of lottery to it, and also like a club like environment or attached to it, like a bar or a club or something attached to it. And that's where they were at. And so when it was there, so before they got into, before he went inside the building, all of a sudden he just got upset about noodles, and she said that she didn't hear him. And he, like I said, he went into a childlike type tantrum behavior. He ended up, then it was like these 2 young girls, or maybe in their late 20s, early 30s or whatever, was walking by, and he ended up asking them, did they want some noodles? And the girls looked at him kind of weird and said no, and they walked in the building. So then he started like, how some of the guys who used to bust a sag, where they wear their pants halfway down below their waist, near their butt or whatever. So he ended up pulling his pants down to past his butt, and was walking, and walking around. And he has also took off his shirt and had like his t-shirt on, showing. And I guess he's trying to be gangster type now, that he don't change from his looks or whatever because over some noodles, that his wife said she didn't hear him. He got upset and said that she did, and all this craziness. But this man would start arguments with his wife or girlfriend, whoever she is. It's in a long-term relationship that I could see in a dream, that God was showing me in a dream. And he does this all the time, you know, start little arguments so he can go out and meet other women, so he can do things to other women to please his flesh. This is what I'm going to put it. And it seemed like to me in a dream that the wife was already knew what type of time it was when he began to get into that behavior, that childish behavior, and then get into that whorish player type behavior. And so she was sitting there talking to his two friends, his bros, or his family members, or whatever. She was talking to them. She said, you see, you know, she was saying to them that how he act and how they see how he act and everything. And she was telling him about what he been doing or whatever, you know, when he gets into that childish behavior stage, you know. And so after that, you know, so one of the men was like listening, you know, he had like an afro type or whatever, but he was like listening. And he was a little older gentleman, a little bit older, not too old, but you know, he was listening, and he was like, he didn't understand why he goes into this immature behavior, you know, and why do he take little things so serious to the point that, you know, it's like he was taking things too serious, you know, nitpicking arguments and stuff like that, so he can go out and do whatever he likes or please to do. And that goes with, you know, hooking up with women and stuff like that. And so as the wife was talking to, you know, the two guys in the truck or whatever, so he decided to go inside the building. So she just let him go inside the building, because at that point she has got frustrated and fed up with this man. So, you know, with his childish behaviors and immaturity and everything else, to be an adult. So she ended up, you know, letting him go inside and cool off or whatever. I guess it's something that they do or whatever, what God was showing me. That's, I guess, what he does is nothing new to her. And also to the two guys either, nothing new. And when that happened, so he went inside the club or whatever it was, inside this building that they were parked outside, and went inside, and he saw the same two young girls that he asked about, knew was inside. Then it was another set of women, so altogether it was like 6 women altogether, different race, different shapes and sizes, you know, plus sizes, average built, medium, whatever you want to call it, and slim. And these group of women are all friends, and they hang out in bars and clubs and where they could pick up men. And the way that God was showing me is that these women are so scorned by men, has abused and misused them in certain ways and betrayed them. So they're going around taking revenge out on men. It could be single, he could be married or whatever, but they're taking their revenge out and frustration out in their unhealed selves out on men. And what they would do to these men is that they will lure them in and talk to them. The whole group would talk to this man, invite him to their table. They order rounds of drinks or whatever, alcohol or whatever you call it. They would do it. And what they would do is they would slip like date rape pills or Molly or whatever you call it into their drinks, into the man's drinks. And these men, okay, so these men are not aware that this is actually happening to them by these 6 women. These women has been doing this for a long time, you know, drugging men, and then take them to have sex with them. And what they do, all 6 of them will have sex with this one man, and they would take pictures of this man while they're having sex with him. They would do all types of stuff while this man is under this influence of alcohol and drugs. And then later on, they will blackmail the man later on. And, you know, and threaten him that they will show pictures of him to get money, you know, for these men that they have drugged to pay them money. And these women are working women, you know, women that are, I'm not going to say well kept, but they keep their image up. So you would never know that these women are doing this. It's a group of 6 women of different races that is doing it. Different, you know, ethnic backgrounds and everything else. But they are friends, and they've been friends for a long time. And like I said, it's a group of 6 women that does that to these men. They go and prey on these men. And so back to the story. So he's sitting there, the husband or the boyfriend, whatever you want to resonate, sitting there dancing. And they will make him dance like a stripper, because now they already done slip the date rape or Molly, whatever you want to call it, into his drink. So now he is under the influence, and he is dancing, you know, dancing for these women. And they're laughing, and they're making fun of him, and they're taking pictures. There's one woman that's really tall that stood out, that has glasses. She wears glasses, and she's really tall. And she wear her hair kind of like curly, but it's like it comes down to her shoulder. That's about it. You know, like those rods type curl. So it's more like the rod set that she have in her hair, that, you know, roller set, and then it dries. So she has one of those. And she's tall. She's brown skin, kind of tall, and she is the ringleader of it, of these other, you know, 5 women that they all know each other. And she was like getting this guy, you know, egging him on to dance and different things like that. And while the rest of them taking pictures and stuff like that. And then she's continuing to feed him alcohol, telling him to drink the alcohol, to the point that the man now don't know what he's doing, because now he's under the influence of the alcohol and the drugs and the Molly or the date rape pill, whatever you want to call it, is in his drink. He's unaware of it. And he started to act peculiar. He acting whorish, as if he is not single. He's not in a relationship and all of this stuff. That means he's not married, not in a relationship or anything. And like I said, it could be like a long-term Commonwealth marriage also. Could be going on too. You know, where they've been in a long-time relationship. So it could be either married or in a long committed relationship between these 2 people, the man and the woman. And so he's dancing, he's pulling on these women to dance with him, and he's rubbing his manhood on them, and he's talking to them, flirting with them, that what he can do to them and all this stuff, right? So these women are still laughing. These women are still taking pictures and laughing. So he's still in the middle of the floor, doing his little dancing or whatever he's doing. And these women is like, taking all types of pictures. And it's like a back room that they take them in. It's like a what you call like a dark room, but it was kind of dark back there, and the little light in the room where in this building that these women would take this man, and they would take men, to it. It's like the same spot or whatever, but they take these men back there to blackmail them and to drug them up. And so while he's sitting there dancing and everything, these women was about to go and take him back into that room. So his wife ended up decided to come inside. Wife or girlfriend decided to come inside the building to check on her husband, her man or boyfriend, whatever. So she decided to come in and check on him. And she's like, on the average size woman. She's not a plus size woman. She's not a skinny woman, but she's in between. Medium, in weight, whatever. And she wear her hair long. Her hair is long. Comes a little bit past her shoulders or whatever, kind of straight. And she's kind of brown skinned herself too, and also, or kind of a little bit on the light side. You take a high resonate, and she's not too tall, and she's not too short either. So maybe 5'5", 5'6", or something like that. Anyway, so she was walking in. So she told the two guys that was in the truck with her and her husband or boyfriend that she was gonna go check on him. So when she went inside to check on him, she walked through this door, and you can see, like, I saw like lottery tickets and stuff, different lottery tickets on the machine at the door. And then you could see like some maybe casino type machine too. So she walked through, and then I could see like a little bar, because I seen a man was at a bar, and he was putting like $1, like for tip or whatever, in the cup or whatever. And then I could see something like you could pay for like a TV. Like you could pay for something also to watch a movie or to watch a TV. But it was something that this man also was dropping like $1 in to continue to watch TV or to continue to watch a movie or whatever. But that's how it was, is where you had to pay to watch something on TV. And so, so then after that, so as she walked past by that, that's when she got to the next room, like I said, where the club or whatever you call it was there, and she saw her husband on the floor, husband and boyfriend on the floor dancing and pulling on these different women. There were 6 women at a table. And so, so as she was walking towards the tall woman that I told you is the head leader, she saw the wife. I don't know how she recognized the wife or knew that the wife was coming for this man or what, or this woman was coming for the man. But she recognized her for some reason, and she decided to back away. All of a sudden, she started turning and started walking a different way, as if she wasn't doing anything. You see what I'm saying? Like she wasn't doing anything. She was not entertaining her husband or anything like that. That's how it looked to me. That's how it was. And so, but she, she had this uneasy look when the woman came in, when this man's wife or woman, girlfriend or whatever came in. And so the other girls didn't pay no attention to it. So once she came, she grabbed her husband or boyfriend or man or whatever you want to call it. She grabbed him by his hand. In the dream, she grabbed him by his hand, and she was like, come on, let's go. So as she was pulling him, he was kind of resisting her because he wanted to stay. Now that those Molly or whatever has, those pills had kicked in, I think they may have gave him some Viagra too, because his stuff was hard. In the dream you could see it, that it was hard in the dream. Like he was ready to tear up some, some peas. So, coochies or whatever you want to call it, but I'm not going to say the word. But anyway, so then she kept pulling him. So she kept pulling him until she had to put force on it and grab him by both his hand and pull him out. And he was like all drugged up, y'all. Really drugged up in the dream that God was showing me. This man was out of it. He didn't know what he was doing or anything. That's how bad it was. And the effect of it and the reaction of that drug or whatever was really bad. That this man didn't know what he was doing, what he was saying, or anything else. And so once she pulled them out, because she was really upset, and once she pulled them out and took him to the car or the truck or whatever they was at, and they end up driving home or whatever. So as they were driving home, he were like saying something to her like his stuff is hard. And I guess some of the stuff was the drug was kind of wearing off a little bit as he was going home, as he was driving home. And so once they got home, so he was like, what I was supposed to do, my stuff is hard, is what he was telling, the wife or the girlfriend or whatever in the dream. He was telling her that, and so she said, well, you can do her or whatever, or have sex with her. So he ended up doing that, to relieve himself and to bring it down or whatever, his manhood down. I was gonna put it that way. And then God was showing me also, because I wanted to know about why these women was doing that. And he was, he already explained a little bit to me that these women was doing that because, like I say, these women has been scorned by men. When you have a scorned woman that's been scorned, then they will fly to other women too that are being scorned by men, that has did them wrong, has did them dirty and stuff like that, ultimate betrayals and different things. And so then they will take their revenge out on innocent men and turn them out, and blackmail them to get money and different things like that. It's only a one-time thing that these women does to these men. They do not go back, and have sex with these men all over again. They don't do that. It's only a one-time sex thing that they would do, and then they go to the next prey. And so God was showing me how they did other men. And with other men, they all would take turns screwing and having sex with this man in one night, in one setting. And they would take pictures as they're doing it. They would take pictures of each other having sex with this one man that they have target, to drug up and different things and get their revenge or whatever against. And some men has ended up having like heart attacks and strokes and different things like that because of the Viagra is so strong for their system. Because some of these men are kind of young, and then some of them is, most of the men that they deal with are between their early 40s down to their late 20s is the type of guys that these women would deal with, because all these women are different ages, from their late 20s on up to their early 40s. So they're all different ages. And they all know how to go out and attract what type of aged men to bring back to the group. And so God was showing me that they all would take turns, screwing this man, because me being in the medical field professional as a nurse, also still as a nurse, and but still has my own business, doing other things. But while I was working as a nurse, the drug Viagra is for men that has erectile dysfunction. And that's what it's meant for. It's not meant for a healthy young man that doesn't have dysfunctional or having a hard time, getting it up or whatever for sexual intercourse. And that's what the drug is meant for men like that, not for ones that can. And it would do the opposite. It comes with a lot of side effects and everything else. Because I remember that when I used to work into a doctor's office, the doctor used to prescribe it, and he used to give them the side effects and different things about what can happen, and it can lead to, complications as where they, their membrane the men's thing can stay hard for like up to 4 hours. And the doctor was to warn them about taking it, be careful. So they start them off with low dose, and then they end up increasing it to higher dose sometimes for some men that has that problem. But they're under doctor supervision. So now you can get this drug Viagra now online. They're selling it online now. You don't even need a prescription anymore for it. You can just go get it online. From what I've been hearing, when I was in the medical field, that some of the guys used to come in that had the problem, they didn't have insurance, or they couldn't afford it or whatever, but they will say they can go get it online cheaper, because it was some country like India was making it or producing it maybe, and they were selling it online cheaper, a lot cheaper than what you would get for in prescription form. So that's how a lot of these men were getting their getting their Viagra or whatever. So, and that's how these women end up getting it too, getting the Viagra, also, to put into these men's drink to make their manhood stay stronger, and erected much longer, so that way each 6 of them can do their thing. And it was a lot of time, it was unprotected sex that I could see in the dream too. That it was a lot of time, it was unprotected sex that these women was doing. And, to these men. And, which was nasty, you picking out random strange men and you having sexual intercourse with them and not having protection. That's nasty, for these 6 women. Very nasty and dangerous also to be having stuff like that, with that. And so with that involved, you know, so like I said, God was like showing me, you know, what can, what Viagra could do, to these men and stuff like that, to where some of them were having some type of, like, some of them were having, doing the intercourse, that God was showing me that they were having like a heart attack. They were having like a stroke. They were having some type of reaction from it. And once these women are done with it, they end up leaving this man in this room, with naked, pants down, everything, laying on the floor or the bed or whatever. And then when this man gets up, he don't know what happened the next day. He don't know, he don't remember anything. I don't think he know that he was back in a room, laying on this bed or this floor or whatever, no clothes on. And he don't understand what happened. And most of these men don't understand what happened, to them. And they can't go and report it because the women already have their name, because the men already don't gave their name out. They don't gave their phone numbers out and everything else to these women. So the only thing they have to do is find out where his address, where he lived at, with his family and whatever else he does for work or whatever. And then that's when they start going to blackmailing him. And that's when they start sending him emails of pictures of him, and them having sex or whatever. And they threaten him that they're going to expose it if if these men don't give them money. So this is what's going on out here. That God was showing me the dream that was going out, and that what is happening to some men out there, that's being date raped by women, a group of women, 6 of them, and then being scammed, and being blackmailed at the same time. So that's what's going on now, that God was showing me about, what's happening to this man, and what almost happened to him, because his wife or girlfriend came just in time, because they was about to take him back there to that room, and then they was going to do their thing with him, but he came, she came in just in time to save him from these group of men. I mean, okay, so it could be some men, so it could be, I don't know why I keep saying, men, but these was women. So there could be men, there could be a group of 6 men could be doing this also, it could be a group of 6 women too, and it also could be a group of 6 men that could be doing this to women also. They could be popping, putting mollies and date rape in their drinks, these women drinks also. So it could be a mixture of both. It could be a mixture, a set of 6 men in a group, and it could also be a set of 6 women in a group also, that is doing this, that's picking up, these women are picking up men, and then the men is picking up women and blackmailing them also, getting their name and address and blackmailing them and having sex with these women also. They're not giving them Viagra, but they are, giving them the date rape pill or the Molly or whatever you want to call it, giving them that, and then they all having sex with them, with the women, and then the women is having sex with the men. Because I kept saying, man, and I'm like, why I'm saying man when the dream was saying women. So God has let me know that there is 2 sets of group out there. It's a set of 6 men and a set of 6 women. and they're out there picking up people, you know, picking up strangers, you know, and having sex with them is what they're doing, which is nasty and disgusting, especially when you're not having any protection. That's very nasty, and very unhealthy, and that could be why a lot of the STIs and STDs, and also some of the uncurable diseases, you know, like herpes and HIV and AIDS and stuff, is roaming out there because of stuff like that has been happening. You know, unprotected sex been going on, you know, picking up random people and different things like that, and just being, you know, just being, you know, not safe, you know, whorish type style, immature and stuff like that, you know, very careless with their body, you know, their holy temple that God has given them. They're very careless with it and don't care because of the childhood trauma or unhealed areas from different relationship and past relationship that these people has had, men and women has had, that has done them wrong, so decided to take the revenge out on other people. So, and that's what God was like showing me, you know, what was going on with the group, because I wanted to know what was going on with these women, why they were doing this. So he was showing me too that there was men out there that's doing the same thing too. You know, they're doing the same thing also. They're scoping out, you know, married men and single men, young or up into their early 40s. They're singling them out, and they are, and also with the women from middle 20s up into their early 40s, the men are singling out these women, because there's a different age group also in the men group too, that God was showing me, that also that's doing the same thing, you know, hanging out in these bars and hanging out in these little holes in the wall type things, you know, settings, that has like a little club, you know, has a little casino, whatever, you know, gambling, something type gambling thing, you know, in it or near it, you know, type environment is where they're going to pick up. So, and but that's what God was showing me in the dream about what was going on with this group now. It's like another set of group is out there now that is doing some sexual things, you know, for blackmail, for scamming, for money now is what they're doing. And, you know, and like I said, they don't care who they sleep with, you know, with that. So, and that's what was going on that I saw in the dream that God was showing me. Until next time, peace, love, joy, and happiness. Much blessings to you. Keep moving forward. Speak your truth. Expose and stand your ground when you need to.